Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, I do want to speak about some very unfortunate news regarding Ansu Fati and his fitness. And then later in the video, we're also going to be talking about Jules Kounde, Ronald Araujo, and this whole dynamic regarding the right back position. It's going to be a very interesting one. And so if you guys are new here, welcome to the channel. I'm happy that you guys are here. If you guys are Barcelona fans, this is going to be the channel for you, where we do talk about everything regarding FC Barcelona. And so if you guys do like this video, please feel free to support me by liking this video and also subscribing to the channel. If you also want to be part of this community, you can also join our group chat, right? It is a Discord group chat. There is going to be a link down below on the description box. You guys can join. You guys can also make an account. And then if you guys do have questions, you guys can put those questions in the group chat and I'll answer you guys' questions on there. And it does not necessarily have to be Barcelona related questions. It could be anything regarding football. So let's first talk about Ansu Fati. 4 days ago, Brighton had a game and Ansu Fati was taken off on the 22nd minute. At that time, we did not know if Ansu Fati's injury was going to be serious or not. We just thought that it was due to precautionary measures and that everything was going to be fine with Ansu Fati. But 3 to 4 days later, it has been announced that Ansu Fati is going to be out for at the very least 2 months to almost 3 months. And it sucks to see this because Ansu Fati was on a roll with Brighton. He was doing really good. He was scoring goals. He was in all of the attacking plays. He was becoming a true number 9 under De Zerbi. And we were having a lot of fun seeing Ansu Fati's form at Brighton. Like, he was regaining his confidence. And so to see him encounter yet again another injury, it's very unfortunate. So he is going to be traveling to Barcelona to begin his recovery. And so he will be with us. He'll be with all of the boys, right? He'll be with Pedri. Xavi's also going to be there. Maybe Alejandro Balde. So it's going to be good vibes. At the very least, we get to see Ansu Fati back at Barcelona. But it sucks because we wanted Ansu to have a great season at Brighton because it does help us whether we do want to keep him or sell him in the future. And also, right, because Ansu Fati got injured and seeing this whole unfortunate event, this also makes me really worried about Cancelo, which is another reason why I brought up this topic, is because right now Cancelo has been playing in every game, participating in every minute. And I feel like, right, eventually we are going to be encountering a moment where Cancelo might go through an injury. Now, I'm not trying to jinx everything, nor am I trying to be like super negative, but there's always that chance that when a player plays in every minute and in every game, they could encounter an injury. Look at what happened with Xavi, right? Cancelo against Porto did seem like he was injured. Now, it was great to hear that Cancelo is okay, but Javi Miguel did state this that also did worry me. And this is what he said, and I quote, "The dressing room is amazed by Cancelo. They say that he is a very competitive animal. The physical trainers highlight he never gets tired, he is a true athlete, and he trains with full intensity, and he gives everything on the field and recovers the quickest." And again, that is the thing that gets me very nervous, because when they said that he never gets tired, that is exactly what they said about Xavi, right? It was very similar to the situation of Xavi. Everybody was saying Xavi is a hard player to bench. Xavi, because of what he gives, should be playing in every minute because he is a warrior, right? He never gets tired, and because he's so competitive, he should play everything. And look at what happened to Xavi a few days or a few weeks later. Now he's in a 8 to 9 month injury. And so I hope that with Cancelo, nothing bad happens, because the moment Cancelo gets injured, I don't know what Xavi Hernandez is going to do. Like, is he going to place Kounde as a full-time right back, or is he going to use Sergio Roberto, who is coming back very soon, to play in the right back position? This is just like painting out different scenarios if something like this does arise. But as of now, Cancelo's okay. But I just hope that in the future he doesn't get injured, because with Ansu Fati also getting injured, it reminded me of what we have currently today. And don't even get me started on Gundogan. Gundogan looked so fatigued, so tired against Porto, which is the reason why I think that he did not have his best game. So fingers crossed, let's hope that Ansu Fati recovers as fast as possible, because he has a lot of games to play for Brighton in the second half of the season. And we also do want him to compete and enjoy his football. So now I do want to move on towards the next topic, and I do want to speak about Kounde, Araujo, and Xavi, right? This dynamic that is going on. Kounde said something after the match was over against Porto, and this is what he stated: "I'm very happy to play as a center back. It's the position I feel the most comfortable in." And the reason why I'm bringing up this statement is because this is not the first time Kounde has addressed to the media that he loves playing as a center back, because many have been asking Kounde, "What do you think about your position right now at Barcelona?" And Kounde always brings up that he loves playing as a center back. And to me, it seems like Kounde is trying to put that media pressure to reach Xavi that Kounde is happy as a center back, and that Kounde should never go back to the right back position. And that, my friends, is a problem, because what really does bother me right now is the fact that Araujo is constantly playing as a right back. We saw it against Porto. Now, look, I understand that sometimes we do see our center backs play as a right back. We even seen that historically, right? We have seen that with Puyol. Puyol was playing as a center back throughout his first few years, and then he was shifted to the right back position because of what he brought in. He looked very comfortable playing in that position. So he was shifting on and off, going to the right back position, to the center back position, because he was very versatile. But here's the thing, that team of 2009, when we really had Puyol in the right back position, the only reason why he was there is because there was no other center back that was able to play in that position better than him. But this team that we have now, like today, there is a center back that knows how to play better in the right back position besides Ronald Araujo, and that is Kounde. Kounde plays much better than Araujo on the right flank. Now look, I'm not saying that Kounde, when he's playing as a center back, he plays garbage, right? I think that Kounde plays amazing in the position that he is in right now. One of the top center backs in the world, in my opinion. But it does get me very nervous because I feel like Xavi, in a way, is very obligated to use Kounde as a center back because Kounde continues to state to the people in the club, to the media, that he loves playing as a center back. He's very happy and he feels very comfortable. But dude, like, I think that when you have Araujo as a center back and Kounde as a right center back, you just get much more balance in the team, much more stability. You have Araujo at a 10 out of 10 when as a center back, and you also have Kounde as a 9 out of 10 when as a right back. And I feel like, right, the more we have Araujo play in that position, the longer it's going to take for Araujo to become the best in the world in his position, which is the center back position. And this game against Porto solidified the statement that I am making. In the first 10 to 15 minutes, I don't know if you guys have noticed, and you guys can go back and watch the game, maybe the first 20 minutes, because it's going to give you guys a lot of answers. But in the first 10 to 15 minutes, both players looked very uncomfortable. Like, I remember there was a ball that was going between Araujo and Kounde, and both of those players did not know who was supposed to get the ball. They're like, are you going to get it or am I going to get it? So they were both very hesitant, and one of the opposition players from Porto were about to get the ball because both players were confused. They're like, oh, I thought he was going to get it. And so that was a really big problem. And also, right, when Araujo had the ball and he was in possession of the ball, it's very important in those sequences to be very good on the ball on a technical level, because most teams that do play against us, when one of our left center backs or our right center backs have the ball, we need to be really good in making decisions because they like to corner us really good and force us to make mistakes and press us. And I know that many of the teams that we do face, they do studies on Araujo. They know that our player Araujo is not really good on the ball. Like, he's solid, he's okay, he's better than the majority of the players in Europe, but he's not like top tier. And so sometimes it does force mistakes from the player. And I'm like, those are situations that Kounde should be in because he's much better on the ball. And I remember there was like a game that happened about 2 or 3 weeks ago, right? We had Kounde as the main center back with Araujo as a right center back. And I remember there was like this striker that was constantly testing Kounde on 1v1 situations in open space, right? And that striker was consistently beating Kounde on a 1v1 duel. And then it came to a point where Xavi was like, okay, I'm just going to be switching Kounde and Araujo because Araujo is much better at covering the space behind him. So even Xavi knows where those two players should be. And Kounde also looked very, I would say, shaky in possession. And so it is a problem. And to me, it's going to come down to Xavi Hernandez and his authority. He needs to have a stronger voice because I know deep down inside of his mind, he knows what's best for the team. Now, don't get me wrong. Kounde is amazing. I love Kounde, right? He's one of my favorite players. But eventually, it could turn into a problem in the future. Like, if Kounde continues to say, I want to play as a center back, I'm happy there, I don't feel that happy when I am a right back, to me, it feels like that he's putting himself over the club. And it should always be putting your club over yourself, over your name. It's always Barcelona over anyone, even over Lionel Messi. And so I don't know, could this turn to a situation where eventually Xavi's going to have to make a decision to let go of Kounde only because he wants to have Araujo in his best position? And let me tell you, this happens in other teams. Like, for example, I'm always going to pull out Man City because Man City is like an exact replica of what Barcelona should be when they're in their prime. But Pep Guardiola deals with this type of situations at City. When a player is very unhappy about a current situation, whether it's a sporting reason or a financial reason, it could be about anything. Guardiola always says, okay, that's fine. If you're unhappy at the club, no problem. I don't feel any tensions towards you. We're going to just let you go. You can go to the club that you want and we're just going to replace you, right? City have the resources to replace that player. That does give some problems. And that is also another problem that I see. Barcelona definitely do not have the resources that Man City have. Pep Guardiola can easily say, oh, you don't feel comfortable in your position, even though I need you there? Well, it's okay. You can leave and we're going to replace you for another player that I found in Argentina or in Brazil or in Croatia or wherever. Barcelona can't do that. Barcelona cannot do that. They cannot just say, okay, Kounde seems very uncomfortable because we constantly try to tell him that he should be playing in the right back position, but he's saying that he doesn't want to. We're going to have to switch him out because, you know, it's a club over anyone else. They can't, again, they cannot do that. They cannot just replace Jules Kounde. Like, who are you going to replace Kounde with based off the financial pool that Barcelona have? So in a way, now that I think about it, it's really starting to seem like like Barcelona and Xavi are forced to listen to Jules Kounde, and not just Kounde, but it applies to everybody in the squad. Like they are obligated to try and make every player happy when they become unhappy. And that's unfortunate because Barcelona are simply just not in the position to say, okay, leave if you're unhappy, we'll just switch you out for a different player. Can you imagine if Xavi had the resources of Pep Guardiola? Barcelona would have looked like a much different team today. So we'll see how this dynamic does evolve in the future. Hopefully everything does end up going well because I want this team to do great things. I want them to win the Champions League this season, even though I know that there are other favorite teams out there, but I want Barcelona to win the Champions League. Why? Because they have the quality to make it happen. And so I hope, right, in the future, maybe we see Araujo saying, I'm going to continue to play as a right back, and he ends up becoming a great right back, and he improves on the ball by a lot. Maybe we can see in the future that Jules Kounde maybe reconsiders and says, okay, Xavi, I know that I have been a little selfish as of late. If you need me on the right back position, that's fine. Put me there, put Araujo on my left side, have Christensen on Araujo's left side, and then have Cancelo on the left back position. No problem. So we'll see. And let me know also in the comment sections down below, how do you feel about this dynamic between Araujo and Kounde and Xavi Hernandez? What do you think is the best solution for all parties? That is going to be wrapping up today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.